Very good evening, everyone. Let's wait, minute or two so that the others can join. As you already 41 are here. Let's wait for them. Very good evening, Bharat. We'll start by 6-5. Very good evening, Anisha. Meanwhile, if anyone have any doubt regarding, you can let me know. So my guests will 40s or will be hello once again, everyone. And I welcome you guys to our very first session on Python Learn. I'm very excited to help you start our journey with this powerful and versatile programming language. Like you all know, Python is known for its readability and simplicity, which is like making it a great choice for beginners. Again, our learning will be completely from the scratch. So, and for those who are the very beginners, this is for you guys, you guys can write this. Coming back, since Python is used in wide range of applications, whether like from web development, data science to AI and automation as well. So today we are going to cover three fundamental blocks of Python, which is called variables, that is to store and manage data, loops, like to repeat action efficiently and again, and the functions, which is used to organize the code into a reusable blocks. So the goal is simple for you to understand this concept and be able to write Python program. So please don't hesitate to ask questions at any point. You can interrupt me. All right. So let's start with variables. So imagine you have a box where you can store something like a number or a piece of text. So in Python, a variable is like that box. It's a name that refers to a value stored in a computer's memory. So let's just say like why do we need variables? So they allow us to store information. Also, it also gives us a meaningful name that we can use or even we can change it later into a program, like in our program. So there are a set of rules to follow in naming a variables. Like as you can see, names can contain letters from caps A to Z. small it will seem. Then also it can contain numbers and underscores, but they cannot start with a number. So name are case sensitive here. For example, let's just say like here it says age with a small GE and age with a all caps are different variables. Those are the three different variables because variables are case sensitive. So it's good to practice. It's good practice to use descriptive names. Like if you're storing age, use the name variable name as age, and like something very random. So the common data types for now we'll see look into integers like whole numbers like 10, minus 3 or 0, like whole numbers. Also we have floating which comes with a decimals, and strings, nothing but a sequence of characters that are enclosed in a parenthesis, like sorry, our quotes are a double quotes. And boolean, like we said, true or false. Let me show one example for you guys. Give me a second, guys. I'm facing an issue with my VS Code. Guys, please allow me 5 minutes. I'm not able to open my VS Studio. Minimal, does all of you guys have VS Studio or something else with you guys? Can please let me know by raising hands or commenting. All right, sorry for that. Bharat, I couldn't understand what you have said there. I hope everyone has VS Code with you. All right. So let's try an example. So let's try to store and print some info here. So let's just say student name, and I'm giving a variable as, let's see, okay. So this is, can you tell me what variable is that? String. Perfect. Okay, what is the second variable? Third and go on. Floating. And the last one? Exactly. Boolean. So we create a variable with student name and assign it to a string value. Same for the age, we create a variable name as age. As you can see, I gave small age here. If I gave cat's age, I try to print it out, you can see an own error. It's called name error. Name error happens when the variable is not defined correctly. Coming back to the initial thing, when we run once again. Now, yeah. So we create a variable name as is enroll and we gave a value as true. And that is Boolean value. So this is the type, this is a basic example of, I know many guys know this very basic, but again, we have to consider our beginners together as well. All right. Now let's see how we can store different data types. Now let's try using them in a calculation. For example, I have given one number has 15 and number two has 10. So I want some has number one and two. Okay. All right. Now, as you all know, this is a basic calculation and we return. So we store the integer as number one as the 15 and the one as 10. They will start a basic calculation. All right. What will happen if I just put one string here? Let's just say add me, let's just say 5. Can you even tell me what will happen? What will the output? Come on, guys, can you even predict the output? Because I'm giving you a minute time. Try to be interactive, right? So it will be very exact research like when we discuss and do each and everything together, right? Just even if you're wrong, no issues. Right, Peter? Perfect. Shalom, nice. Rimsha output is 15.5. So for those who don't know, it's totally fine. So it will curse and type error. We cannot add two different types of what you can say two different types of fundamental uh, types. We can add two different types like we can add strings, we can't add with string with integer or something like that. But meanwhile, if I just add two string, I try to get output, then I'll get the output, yes. But we can add yeah integer with a float because since both are numbers. So any questions about variable before we move into loops, guys? Anyone? Can anyone tell me the output for this?
Like 20. No, sorry.
The sum of
Error,
number
type
one and
error.
number two is 20. Oh, sorry, sir. No.
Uh, it
Error
won't be
देगा sir.
20, guys. Error.
Type error.
Sir, string error देगा.
Exactly, because I made this integer into a string.
The number one is in a string and the number is two.
Exactly.
Number two is in.
Exactly. So we have to be mindful when we are trying dealing with a variable because without variables, writing your code is like utterly useless. That's all we have to learn about the variables. So the basic four types of variables are, as I showed you, integers, string, float, and boolean. These are the most common and most useful things. All right, nice one, guys. I get no issues. We are still learning, right? Next up, loops. So loops are used to execute a block of code repeatedly. For example, like I just say, if I want to print hello 5 times, again, I guess I have asked you that this question. Again, let me ask you. I want to print hello 5 times. Can anyone tell me the different ways you'll follow to print hello 5 times? I'll give 2 minutes.
For loop, while loop, recursion.
Perfect, great. Can you give me one example at least? Like, can you give me one player code? Try to make it as small as possible. That's what efficient means in Python.
For I in range of 6, print hello.
Perfect. Uh, Rimsha, it can't be 5 because Python doesn't take the last integer. It will only print 4 times. And for the knitting, we have gave range as 1 is that like leaving the range with like empty is also equal to 1. So it will just give 1. So I see many have given for loop. Why not while loop? Giving 5 print 5 times. Again, Pravalika, logically yes, but you can't do that. If someone asks you to do print 5 times, you have to always come with the most efficient way for it. Can anyone give me one while example? No issues, it happens. All right. So we are getting short of time. So there are two types of loops in Python, for loops and while loops. In for loops, we can even do like these directly. Else we can give starting point and an end point. It will literally do the same thing here. Like for number in range, you start with our loop. The range is 1. If you start with 1, so like just leaving it blanks. So there's like least efficient way. But in dealing with strings, for example, whether it's a fruit, and I gave a couple of like so I just gave it opened a list and I want to print. So what will happen is, let me test it because I for you better understand. For I in fruit, for every iteration, it will go first year, second year, third and fourth year and start printing it out. For example, show you here. So this loop will iterate to each item the fruit leaves. In the first iteration, fruit will be apple. The second fruit will be banana. Third fruit will be cherry. And the last fruit will be date. So this will go into loop until there is none left. All right. And now, how do we do while? So in while loop, sorry, I didn't see that. Pravalika, Bandaru, Nitin. Okay, it's good way. Again, I guess, yeah. So again, let me take this example. So we initialize count has 5 here. All right. And then while C is 5, that is like true, the condition meets, it will print hello. Until it becomes 0, it will go on printing until the value becomes false. So default it is true here because until the rule states true based on this rule, since until it becomes 0, later it will become false. When it becomes false, it will keep on going. All right. What will happen if there is none know this line? So what will happen now? Can anyone tell me?
So the condition is always true and go to infinite loop.
Exactly. It will go on infinite loop. So it must to give, yeah, like we must make the statement, like we must make the while thing false. Because while it is true, it will keep on running until it becomes false. So we have to make sure we have give some certain set of rules that will be make the code make that while loop as false. All right. So any doubt here, guys, until here? Again, I know this is all very basic for those who know. Again, we are just learning from the scratch. Let me give one more example using this. So I'm giving count as 3 here and printing, say, countdown. I'm not printing anything. I'm just telling countdown. So while count is equal to get okay. Print count nice one. Okay. Can anyone tell me the output? Can anyone guess the output?
Countdown 3, 2, 1. Blast off end of program.
Perfect. So, Brinda, if I run up this line, let me take it out. Will the infinite loop take these also in like in printing? Like, will all these things will get printed again and again? Last
Yes.
document. Oh, yeah. Others? So one sec will
No,
print.
sir.
Okay. No, Nakavya. Why no? Can you tell me? Will it? How many
In,
times will it get printed? Just give me one number.
in Python, there is indentation, right, sir?
Yes.
That's why they
Can
did
you tell
not print
me?
that many times.
Okay, like how many times will it print then?
It print only once. Countdown 3. 3 will print
And
indefinitely.
okay, what about the other two?
It doesn't print, sir, because
Exactly.
3 prints indefinitely now.
Exactly. So here we have initialized the variable to count to 3. So in this while loop, it will continue to execute the intent block of code as long as the condition, that is what the condition here is, count should be more than 0. If count is more than 0, it will be true. All right. Later, later, the count until it becomes -1, that is like 0, less than the count, like less than the 0, it will become false. But here, only when the loop has been completed, it will go to the line 6 and 7. So when we try to print infinite line, it it got stuck in till here itself. It won't go to the down. See, it won't go to the, it will never go to the down. So loops are very incredibly useful for automatic tasks. So any question on for or while loop, guys? So always keep in hand. So only when we are creating an intent, only when the intent is satisfied or like completely finished, it won't go to the other line out of the intent. All right. So our final topic for today is functions. So a function is a named block of code that performs a specific task. So think of it like a mini program within your program. So, but why use functions? Like when we can, when we ourselves are writing the code, we can copy paste whenever we want it, like. But why we are using function is for the reusability. We can write the code once and can use it multiple times by calling the functions. It also organized by breaking down complex programs to smaller and manageable pieces. And the main part here is readability. It will make your code very easy to understand. Also, it will make your code very easy to debug. For example, if certain function in your code gets failed, then you know from which line to, like from starting to the end line of the code. You can take it out, completely diagonal, like debug it, and fix it back in the code. So it will be easier instead of taking the whole thing again and again. And if you make one changes, like if you make one changes, like fix bug, that one function you don't have to do it again and again. Like this is like if you use copy paste or something else. So in defining a function, we use def keyword followed by the function name with parentheses. Like I can see the counter, parentheses, and a colon. So let's try the simple example. Create function name and just gave a parenthesis. And what this function should do? Print hello world. Okay, let me do it for you. Message. Hello world. Print message. Okay. Now we call the function. Called once. Calling it again. First it got called, it printed hello world. Then it will go to the other line, do that, and I have called that again. It gave me the one more code. So def keyword indicates we are defining a function. And the greet is the name we have chosen for our function to call, like naming it. And the parentheses are always required. They can hold parameters, which we'll see in next example. And the colon marks the end of the function. So here's the line message. It's inside the function, like a message, and the print here. So I have a one quiz here. What type of variable is this one? All right. But let me just say, like, when I say type of variable, I'm asking the whole thing here. Like, I have declared a variable inside the function, and I have declared a variable same outside a function. Now, can anyone tell me what type of, like, what is the difference between that both variable? Like a small quiz. Exactly, local. And the other one? Yes. So for those who don't know, local variable is nothing but it is those variables which are used within a function can't be used within the function itself. We cannot use that outside. But whereas we can use the global variable function inside of your function. I hope I am clear. So for example, print MSG. I got an error. Whereas if I just take this out, print it, it will then print. We can use local variable only inside a function, and the global variable we can use it even inside a function, or we can even use it outside a function. The function also can take inputs called parameters, or argument when you call the function, and that can give back result using the return statement. For example, let's just say define addition. I'm creating addition. I'm creating a parameters or argument here, x and y, and giving what should addition do, total x plus y, and return total. So before I move on, what is different between return and print? Can you tell me the difference? Return will return a value inside a function, okay. And the print? Anyone?
So print is used to display output on the console,
Okay.
and the return return is used to print the output in the functions.
Exactly. We basically display something can is a function, not in the function, return, store the value to the function. For example, after adding, it will store the total value here, like when we call that. So when we call that again, it will give me the value. But let me show you. So let's just say number one is 5 and number 2 is 10. And some number and a number. Print. So this is how we used to do it before. Right? Oh, give me a second, guys. I like putting about give me a second. Sorry about that. Now here, let me call another. One second. All right. So we have defined a number. We have defined a function as add. So x and y are parameters. They are like placeholder for the value that will be provided when the function is called. Like I've called here and here. And I've given the value as num1 and num2 for the place of x and y. What number defines is 5 and 10. Whereas I give directly here. So the return statement sends a value of the total back to the place where the function called. For example, if I call this, so addition of 5 and 15 returns it here. Same for that, it will return here. So we call the function. Num1 is passed as the argument for the parameter x. Num2 is passed as the parameter like argument for the parameter y. Same as inside the function, x becomes 15 and y becomes 20. As you can see, the difference. Krisha returns sends a valid functions calling exactly. All right. So any doubt until here, guys? Oh, sorry, was mic was off. I have written one code. Can anyone tell me the output of that? Anyone just want to explain why 3 have been skipped here? Guys, I guess I'm perfectly audible due to continue using condition. So what does continue does? Can you explain me? I know because the continue statement. What is continue?
Then continue, skip the current statement.
Bharat, can you come again?
Continue will skip the current statement.
All right. So what happens is, can you okay before I explain, can anyone tell me the output for this one?
So output will be 1 and 2.
It will break the program when the I is equals to 3. So answer will be 1 and 2. It won't won't
Okay.
execute further.
Exactly. So break terminates the current loop prematurely. Like it will stop the loop when I becomes 3 here. Whereas continue, it skips the code inside the current iteration of the loop and proceed to the next iteration. For example, it skips the I has a 3 and goes to the other. So these are the two things which I wanted to add. This is called loop control structures. One is break, the other one is continue. Any doubt until here, guys? One more please. So the easiest one. Now people.
It will print even numbers.
Even numbers till
10.
why is that?
Till 10.
All right.
There will be 3 parameters. One is start,
Yes.
stop, and
Because we are
step.
using step value. We start value, end value. This is called step value. It will skip like it will step 2 ahead. Like for 0, start with 0, 1, 2, prints 2, 3, 4, prints 2. That's how it goes. Perfect, guys. The last thing. and say anyone tell me the output for this? Guys, why I'm not seeing any answers here? Exactly.
It will
Print
print
each character.
single letter.
Yes,
Single.
yes. Uh, I think they literally heard you. The voice was breaking. Brinda, it won't print like that. Will bring single characters in string. It will break down character by character and will print in one single line. So this will how the output will look like. All right. I believe everyone would have understood the logic behind it. So that brings us to the end of our first session. Like this was a basic session and the like basic building block of Python like in functionality. So we have covered variables, that is to store numbers, text, floats, booleans, and loops that has two types, for and while loop, and loop control structure has continue and break. And with a function, we have created reusable organizing code. We also learned the two types of variables, that is global and local variable. So these are absolutely basic and more incredible, has most incredible powerful in using Python. So let's just say without these, Python would be like nothing. So the key to getting comfort with Python or any programming language is practice, as you know. So try modifying the example like we did today, or come up with your own sample example program if we have one. Because it will be very helpful for you and for others to learn together. So before we wind up, does anyone have any clarification, any doubt that they want to clear? Please go ahead. I'll give you 2 or 3 minutes.
No, sir.
All right, I guess no one has any doubt. So again, thank you for your attention, guys. So again, I'm happy to take any remaining questions now, and I'm look forward to seeing you in our next session. Again, I'm iterating. We are going, we'll be going, and we are going very slow and in depth as possible for others to learn as well. So if any doubt, please clarify then and there. All right. If anyone has any doubt, you can stay back. Others, you can leave and have the rest of the evening. Great. Thank you guys for joining. Oh, thank you guys.